welcome to the podcast for Radar Festival, Blood Command.
Thank you so much for having us. We are honestly so happy to be here.
So you're playing in a bit, right?
Yeah,
So
in a couple of hours. So
Yeah.
I've really got to start focusing. I've got to do my warm-ups after our beautiful interview with you guys. And what I loved the most about when we arrived today, not only is this festival just absolutely beautiful, like the venue and the people and everything.
Thank you.
But our sort of artist liaison, he said, this is the most un-UK festival you'll ever have been to. They gave us a proper rider. They've treated us. It's just amazing. So
I think it's important, though. A lot of the guys who run this festival, and Jahan included, understand what it's like to be an artist.
you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell.
So good, everything.
I love touring the UK, but it's not like going to Germany where you get a fridge of beers. We're a bit spoiled
And
being.
food.
Exactly. You get 3 drink cards and an old, cellar for your
the
green
buyout's
room.
£5.
Exactly.
Chewing gum is £6.
Exactly, which is, still happy to be here, not complaining, but this festival, you can tell it's people who know what it's like to play in bands.
Yeah. And you got here yesterday?
Yeah.
We did,
When,
yes.
and let me ask you, when did your equipment arrive?
That's a very good question.
Hours ago, yeah.
So we flew in from
Bremen.
Germany, Bremen,
Yeah.
which is the home of
No,
aerospace.
Amsterdam. Amsterdam.
I was saying a fun fact about Bremen.
I'm so sorry.
No.
Go on, bitch.
We'll get to Amsterdam, but let's hear Bremen fun facts.
The Brumen fun fact was that it's the home of aerospace, where they build all the rockets, which is so boring. Why am I even talking about this? And then we transited in Amsterdam, but our first flight was delayed. So when we got to Manchester, none of our gear or merch had arrived. And it arrived an hour and a half before we had to leave today.
Insane.
That was lucky.
Yeah.
I got the news because I was the guy sourcing your new gear.
Oh, you saw the new stuff.
You're the lifesaver.
I'm that guy. I'm the guy that's been sort of doing a few things like that this weekend. I had to sort out Car Bomb with the guitar 3 minutes before Greg
Car
went on
Bomb?
stage. Yeah.
A car bomb.
Yeah, the band Car
band
Bomb.
Oh my God. I was about to say, call them.
Yeah, no.
It was me, everybody. I was the car bomb planter.
No, yeah. So I've been known as this weekend's gear fixer. So yeah, we had stuff ready to go for you, but I'm really glad you're still.
You're
ready.
amazing. May I ask
So
what you had ready? Just
I
out of
had-
curiosity.
Yeah, I had as close as I could get. I got some nice guitars for you from Balaguer. We got Scan provided us with a bass guitar. I had amps all ready to go.
How amazing you are. Did you have merch for us too? Clean underwear? Or?
Got some merch for you then.
I mean,
I'm kidding.
I would
Thank you.
if you get me some white t-shirts and a Sharpie, I will do my very
Yes,
best.
hand draw the Blood Command logo.
It's not out with the scope of things I've been asked to do this weekend.
Hey,
so
that's
I'm
not
alright.
too bad of an idea, though.
Yeah.
That's not too bad of an idea.
But I don't know. I know that it's difficult for you guys to sort of totally take in everything that's going on at the festival, right?
Yeah.
But have you? I don't know if you've had an opportunity. There's a music market right up on the top floor of the festival.
Yeah.
So Jahan basically created the music market. So what we were saying before is, well, if someone doesn't got a guitar, I'll just go upstairs because they're
Yeah.
just everywhere.
I'm actually really good for guitars. If you need a guitar, I've got you. If you need like a really awkward power supply adapter,
You don't have us. I mean, you've impressed me a lot, so it doesn't matter about the awkward power supply.
it's all good. Yeah. If you need
Yeah.
anything like that, no, you need anything with strings on it. I've got you.
So let's talk about Blood Command at Radar. Radar is the lineup. You can see the lineup. It's got loads of different things. The breadth of I guess genres is pretty wide. Where do you think Blood Command sits with that? Because I've heard people talk about like your extreme pop or your kind of funk metal or you're this or you're that.
Fuck metal.
No, funk.
Oh, I thought it was fuck metal. I was like, that is exactly us. We are fuck metal.
Well, that's a new genre.
Horny metal. I love that for us.
It's very hot right now.
Yeah.
But where do you put yourselves in
You
this
have to
bracket?
answer this question.
What question?
The question is,
question,
where
it was
do you
just
put
asked.
your own sound in this lineup? Where are you on the heavier end? Are you kind of more experimental?
no.
Good question.
We play death pop. We always fall in between the chairs.
Right.
Because
So we don't never fit with anyone, and we fit with everyone. So
Nice.
I think this is we can.
I think this is
wherever.
kind of the perfect festival for us because I feel like a lot of bands are very eclectic, like it's eclectic mix. So this is the kind of festival we want to play. And we did want to play it last year. We didn't get to because we had another clash with it. So we're so happy we got to do it. And when we got here, we were just like, this festival is just amazing. Like, I'm not kissing your asses. It is so gorgeous. I mean, we'll wait and see after the show. But, you know, we're very happy to be here. We stayed at a gorgeous hotel last night. We had the best time. We were actually writing a new song too, which was, nice. It's been a great weekend.
Because if I'm right in thinking the last, and please tell me if I'm wrong, but the last material I heard from you guys, new material, was last year, back end of last year, was it?
September.
September,
yes.
right.
Our album World Domination,
Right. So what have you been doing?
We've been
making more
and signing some contracts that we cannot speak about.
Cryptic. Okay, that's how it goes.
Cryptic and very obvious at the same time.
Stuff and things are happening.
Yeah, it's this contract is for something that starts with an R and ends with an L.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, so does that mean that we can expect to hear
messaging.
new music coming soon?
Absolutely not.
No, okay.
Never put something out on a new...
No. Not next week. We're gonna record.
Not recording a new song next week as of Monday. I'm not flying to Bergen to do the vocals on Wednesday. No.
Right.
Absolutely not.
So we can absolutely, categorically not announce you're recording a single at some point next week. It's categorically not going to happen. Okay.
You've picked up on what I'm putting down.
So then, okay, so all that time you've been, what, shows, touring? Like,
Literally.
It's been constantly.
Yeah.
I think me and Yngve were laughing about it today because he posted something off his personal Instagram about playing today, and he was like, Nikki, after 4 minutes, I have 0 likes. People are sick of me bragging. And I was like, but we're not bragging. We're literally just saying what we're doing. We are kind of bragging as well. I mean, you would too if you were playing that many festivals, right?
Yeah.
And ahead of the last album, I played a bunch of your songs. You know, we really like you guys.
Fuck yeah!
But
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. But I was curious to sort of work out how you came to join a Norwegian band based on the fact that your accent gives you away. But I know you're obviously from Australia. How did that all kind of start?
Catfishing.
It's a bastardized British accent. I apologise for how ugly the Australian accent is. But it's a very good question. For those who don't know, for those who know, I'm sorry to repeat the story for the 100th time. But I was playing in a band in Melbourne called Pagan. We were, kind of up and coming. We were touring to Europe and the UK a lot. And then we split up randomly, and I'd done this article in Kerrang magazine, which I'd said a comment that if Karen O from Yeah Yeah Yeahs and Dennis Lixon from Refuse had a baby, I would be their child. That's my 2 biggest influences. And when that article was released, Yngve read that article and he was intrigued. He was like, "Who is this girl?" That is my 2 biggest influences in music as well. That's the whole point of Blood Command with those 2 bands, Yeah Yeah Yeahs and Refused. Yeah. And other influences, but they're very, very big parts of it. And then when we split up my old band Pagan, I got a random message. I was really depressed. Both of my parents had died within a year. I'd gone through a horrible breakup, started dating a new guy. He's very sadly, trigger warning, committed suicide. I was at my lowest point of my life. And then I got a message from a person called Yngve Andersen, had no idea how to say his name. And he said, "I've got a proposition for you," because he spelled proposition wrong. "I've got a proposition for you. Would you like to join my band Blood Command?" And I'd heard of Blood Command, and I'd always loved Blood Command. And I said, "Why not? Yes, absolutely, I'm in." And I flew to Norway with never having met the band and joined the band. And now we're best
And
friends.
here we are, yeah.
And you're living in Norway now?
Yeah, I live in Oslo now. Yeah, I was
Wow,
living in
that's so
Bergen for
cool.
a year with the boys, and then
Yeah.
I moved to Oslo
That's
to
so
be with
cool.
my boyfriend. Yeah.
And how culturally, how different do you find Norway to Australia?
Very.
What's the big like? What was most jarring for you?
Personalities.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might come off as really shady. It's not meant to be. He thinks I'm being a shady bitch. I'm not. We can't swear. Yeah. He thinks I'm throwing shade. I'm not. There's no cultural difference other than getting reindeer or whale on the menu. There's no cultural difference really because Norwegian people are so amazing at speaking English, so it's made me really lazy at learning Norwegian. Tusen takk, motherfuckers. But my biggest thing when I moved here was making friends and if you can't tell, I love the sound of my own voice and I love talking to people. So yeah, I found it very hard to connect with a lot of people. But luckily I did, and luckily I've got Yngve, I've got my boyfriend, I've got a really great group of friends now. But
nice.
that was the biggest cultural shock because Australians are very outgoing, personable people, and Norwegians, they're just more introverted. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just my observation. Yeah.
But then you would, and also musically though, it seems like there's a connection because you're saying the Refused and sorry, I forgot the other.
Yeah.
Right. So kind of a pop rock thing crossed with a much more fierce thing, right? And certainly kind of fueled by a passion of righteousness and all that sort of stuff, right? That's a match made in heaven with the music that I guess you guys were already putting together.
Yeah. Dramatic punk rock, we also call it.
Dramatic punk rock.
I've never heard that.
You have.
Oh, I have. Sorry, I have. Yeah.
And I also was absolutely I was so happy. I don't know what happened and whether or not it's something you can talk about. That whole Adidas thing that came about. I was like, yes, this is brilliant. And you did that video. I think you were all in the woods or something. And you're like,
we walked up a mountain.
So dumb.
Well, that's a typical Norwegian video, isn't it? Traipsing through the woods.
The amount
She
of
goes on because I always refuse to do that shit because I hate that stuff.
Yeah.
But when Nikki started, she threw new light over it for me and told me how much you all foreigners love that shit.
Yeah.
Which we do, you think about Norway, you think about the mountains and the fjords.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, let's do it. And after we've done it, I think it's super funny.
It's kind of.
Did you
taking
find any
the piss.
lost black metal bands still trying to get their way down? Were they just hanging out we've been here we done press 2 weeks ago, never came back.
But musically though, you just the energy, the vibe. I guess that translates so easy on stage. Is this something that's you write for live, then you write for playing in front of people? Or is it more kind of you write for the song and then...
He definitely doesn't write for playing live. He writes things that are impossible to do.
No,
I respect that.
Yeah.
So do I. It makes you work 100 times harder.
I always regret it when we started practicing it afterwards.
I'm like, I hate you, Yngve. But then it's so rewarding because you have to work 10 times harder than you thought you could, and you can do things you never thought you could do.
Yeah.
You know?
Why save it? Fuck that.
Yeah, but I think we've just found, I don't know what it is. We just work so well live together. We just are so safe with each other. And the guys, they really trusted me with my performance style too. I'm very unique with what I do on stage. Not everybody wants to shake their ass like I do in hardcore. I do it and they let me do it. Not that they wouldn't let me do it, but they trust me to say what I want to say. If I'm I want to talk here, they're like, you do you.
Yeah.
It's really nice. We all trust each other and the process, and we all trust that the show will work, even if I say something stupid or
But I think that's also
pull my pants down or something.
but being, I think being provocatively different is built into the Norwegian spirit. Certainly from the Norwegians that I know, they're kind of under the radar, like to just push buttons and see what happens.
I love that. That's so true, and I have that same mentality.
Yeah.
That's why it works.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
You're a bloody philosopher over here.
I've never been called that before, but thank you. I'll take it.
Podcaster, philosopher,
Oh,
head of the podcast for Radar Festival.
Anyway, listen, guys. I know you're on in a few hours, and you've got to go and do your thing. You've got to get loads of other stuff to get on with. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you for
us.
having us. It's been Nikki and Yngve.